I'm complete. I'm fulfilled.
Yeah.
I'm a believer again, Tom.
I mean, listen, I don't want to put it out there, but you release I Believe, and Bo Nix has his greatest game of his career.
Guess it was me the whole time. Guess it was me the whole time.
That's it, baby. You're feeling complete?
Fulfilled?
I got just the tip. Oh, baby. We here.
We believe.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS, the happy edition.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. I mean, first of all, Perna got a fitty just starting
oh
things
my
off.
God, you ketchup bathing sick man. Thank you so much, Mustard Face. Feels good to see that disgusting mustard face after a win. Oh, It's almost bearable.
Buddy. Oh, bearable.
Poser.
USA.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
USA. Airplane.
You know, there was also a point where the Bears were winning and it looked like they were going to win that football game. And I was like, you know what? This is the Perna curse, because he just put out a Bears video and look who's doing well. And I was like, this is all his fault. It all comes back to Perna. And then the grace of God shone down upon Carl Brooks, tipping that field goal and extending the Green Bay Packers win streak over the Bears to 11.
Oh, you fucks. Oh, that's not fun.
Yes,
that's not fun, Bears fans. I am sorry, Chicago. I really am. I think, look, that game was a weird, that was a whole weird situation for me. Okay.
Yep.
Let's make this about me, because that's what that game really needs to do. Yes. Congrats, Packers. Huge win. Clutch win. Didn't look like you were going to do it. But then you beat the Bears the exact same way the Chiefs beat the Broncos just a week ago. Okay. That sucks for Bears fans. For Packers fans, you got to be feeling like you could walk on water, and you can't, because only Bo Nix can walk on water, but you got to be feeling that way. And you're right. I was like, of course, we do a deep dive into the Bears' struggles, everything that's going wrong with Chicago, and then they might just crank out a miraculous win. It happened with our Jets video. We had a Deshaun Watson video in the works. Then he gets hurt, takes some of the steam out of that. So I was rooting for the Bears to lose, so my video would be relevant for at least another week, or until I didn't want to have to wait for the Bears to lose again.
Understood.
But I didn't want them to lose in my heart, not in that way. I don't wish that way of losing on any fan base except for the Chiefs. To think your team has it, and it wasn't a gimme. I'll say that. It was a 46-yard kick. Sure. It was a weird day for kicking, so it's not like it wasn't a 35-yarder. There's still a chance you're like, they might miss it, but fudge, man. That is a tough way to go down. I feel for you, Chicago. But the good news, Chicago, 1 week after you lose like that, you kick ass. That's just the way it goes.
There you go.
I don't know who the Bears play next. I hope it's the Falcons.
Popping that champagne, baby. Well, they're playing the Lions on Thanksgiving, so that's going to be a time. But, congrats, Dolphins. 72 Dolphins. Pop that champagne, baby.
Dolphins, okay.
Pop it.
Like beating the Raiders? You can't congrats them that hard.
No, it's for the undefeated streak.
I'm watching it right now. They're just showing Josh Allen bulldoze his way into the end zone. Dude, that's such a badass play. It's just that's an MVP type play right there.
I concur. I mean, I want to talk about the Bo Nix game, and I want to talk about the Broncos before we get to the Packers, because
we'll wait for
the Falcons, man. Heading into this game, I picked the Broncos to win because the Falcons are just they're too wishy-washy, right? And I think for the Broncos to have the performance that they did last week against the Chiefs and it come down literally to a blocked field goal. On top of that, the defense has been playing well. And Bo Nix, like fantasy owners know this, right? Because like Bo Nix has been good for them, but like Bo Nix has been getting better and better. And he's been looking pretty damn good. And it seemed like yesterday against a bad pass rush, in the Falcons, but their secondary is good. Put it all together and had a hell of a football game. And like, I know like there's the hype and I believe and all that stuff, but is this the time, Perna, where you're looking at this game and going, damn, like, okay, he could be the guy, like, and maybe like a little bit exceeding expectations of even what you thought he could be? Perna got a 50.
Oh, whoa. Thank you. You are welcome, Wilkins. You are welcome. The curse wheel is back. Yes. I mean, you battle your mind and your heart here, Tom. This is what's going on. You battle the mind and the heart, because the heart says, yes, Bo Nix is the guy. I'm never going to think about another quarterback for the next 16 years, 18 years of my life. He is the truth. He is the one. He threw the ball everywhere. Wherever the fuck he wanted to throw the football, Bo Nix put that football. It was like Jesus was guiding every single one of his Bo leaving throws. But there's always a caveat right now. Will and I had talked about this. What I wanted was a attention-grabbing game for Bo Nix.
Yeah.
To put the cherry on top, put him into the conversation, because he was playing well and he was just doing so many things well that don't really get noticed. I was like, he needs a 3 or 4 touchdown game, 300 yards. Got it. Problem is, it was against the Falcons. It was against the Falcons, and the Falcons' offense was terrible. So it wasn't even like there was pressure on him. You know what I mean? And the Falcons have the worst pass rush in the league. So that's the caveat, right? Like, he annihilated Atlanta, but they're, in my opinion, just another subpar football team. We sweep the entire NFC South. So as I get excited about this, there's just that. It's like, okay, he did it against a bad team, and that's what you want a quarterback to do. But he played well against the Chiefs a week ago. And if he played just a tiny bit better, they probably win that. He won Rookie of the Week last week, and the Broncos only scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. So, there's still some things that can get better. But this game, you have in my recap, I was like, there was not a single miscue by Bo Nix.
Yeah.
It wasn't being like
just a homer, like, whoa, yeah, exactly.
Literally, he took 1 sack, Tom, and Mike McGlinchey tripped his ass. It was his own tackle accidentally got bull rushed and fucking leg whipped him. So that was like the only thing. Devon Vele, great hands, emerging, solid threat. But yeah, we are excited right now, and I think we've got to cut. The Broncos have a couple winnable games coming up. And I just want to see Nix do this like against the Chargers at the end of the season. And one more, like, I want a good defense. I want Bo Nix to have 3 touchdowns against a very good defense. And then I'm going to be 100% on board. Or say that Broncos get in the playoffs, he plays well in a postseason game. We're right now, 90% hope is 90% full, Tom.
Well, because I mean, I'm asking you specifically, not only because you're a Broncos fan, but it's more of like you have seen over the years since Peyton Manning has left, you've seen countless QBs come and go, right? Yeah. And you've even seen good performances out of those not so great QBs. So I'm saying, like, do you think that there's a difference between that and like a good game that you would see from, I'm just going to throw like a Brock Osweiler or like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Another.
No, we had two very good Drew Lock games.
Yeah.
His rookie year. Now he didn't start right away, but those 2 games came against the Texans and the Panthers, I believe. So they were, bad teams. What feels different about Nix is he does everything well right now, right? He's reading the defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's working the whole field. He's getting rid of the ball quickly. He's not taking sacks. He doesn't throw dumb interceptions. It's like the whole package, and all of it's gotten just a little bit better every week. And this game felt like the first game where he and Sean Payton, that their offensive game plan worked exactly the way they want it to. The one thing I will be curious to see, and Nix had some great throws to the middle of the field. Again, Devon Bailey, Cortland Sutton, like he was working everywhere. But the Broncos had a ton of success running wide receiver screens and little bubble screens to the running backs. So they scored 2 touchdowns on a near identical play, and it's just a fucking swing pass out to Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims. So if they continue to have success running those plays against better defenses, then it feels like everything else works for the Broncos offense. And I want to see a team that maybe has a better game plan to defend the screens, specifically the wide receiver screens. Let's see what the offense does if those are well defended. But to counter that, Peyton Manning ran that shit all the time. Like Demaryius Thomas, like that was once a game. It was just like a 60-yard touchdown from a receiver screen. So, And
that's a staple now of like NFL offenses. Like everybody throws a wide receiver screen. Like everybody's been doing that for years. I mean, you could go back to like 2011 when the Packers were running it when they were 15-1. Like this has been a staple for a while.
And it was working because the line, the receivers blocked well, and the Broncos offensive line was getting downfield and making key blocks to spring 2 touchdowns. So, I think also the timing of this win, they lose horrifically to the Ravens, heartbreaker to the Chiefs, and then we get an opponent we think we're better than, and we just destroy them. So, this is exactly what this game needed to be.
That's fair.
I honestly wish we could play the Ravens again now. A week ago, I was like, I just never want to play the Ravens again because I think it's mismatch nightmare. But now the Ravens look so beatable, and I'm like, what would the Broncos do against that team if they got another shot at them? I don't know. Things are good. Things are good, man.
I'm glad to see you happy, buddy. Like that's a good like stress-free Sunday. Then you watch the Chiefs lose. Like, I think everything was coming up Perna yesterday.
Yeah, I was like working on that video and it was late. And usually I've got this pressure, this rush to get it done. I was just like,
but you're just like,
I was chilling. I was just like, I'll get through it.
I'll
get through it. Now I watched that Bears kick live. Okay, so I went live to stream the game.
Yeah.
Packers Bears was on. I was like, let's watch through this. And I was not shocked because I had seen it. It was deja vu. If anything, it gave me a little PTSD. But the amount of people who were like, thought that I would be mad that the Packers won that way. I was like, no, I'm happy for Green. I was like, I don't root against Tom and the Packers, guys. Like, I want things to go well for you. But everybody was like, you have to be so pissed that Tom got the win that way. I was like, no. If the Chiefs won that way again this week, I would have been
burn it all down.
I might have punched a computer, but I was happy for you guys. I want to make it clear. I root for Tom's team's success, guys. I do.
Get cursed all the time. Got that season curse.
I like to talk shit to you guys a little bit, but like, come on now.
I mean, we'll talk about the Chiefs game. That Packers game, dude, that took years off my life. That was
what did they do wrong? I know Love threw another interception. He's got a good streak going, but like, what kind of went wrong for Green Bay?
So there's a litany of things. So there's been tiny problems. Let me rephrase. There's been problems throughout the season. They're not tiny anymore. There've been problems throughout the season on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. If we go at the offensive side of the ball, you're looking at Jordan Love and his interceptions, right? That's a big old problem. So he throws another pick, and it looks like he just sailed it over Tucker Kraft's head. It was just not a good throw, and it just resulted in a pick in the red zone. So that's a problem. On top of that, they flashed a stat on the screen as well. The Packers have the 29th red zone offense, which is brutal. The Bears have the number 1 red zone defense. So the Bears still have a good defense regardless, right? So there's that. There's also a division game. It's also on the road. But Jordan Love throws a costly interception in the red zone. That really hurts. And what I've been saying about Jordan Love this entire season is as long as the good outweighs the bad, I'm good to go. And someone brought up a really good point. I actually checked it afterwards. Like, Jordan Love and Patrick Mahomes have near identical stats this year. Like, they're almost identical. Now, on top of that, Jordan Love has...
Wilson had that with Mahomes last year.
Yeah.
You don't want Mahomes stats anymore.
No, you don't want it. Has missed 2 games, but look at the differences between those 2 teams, right? Because you look at a really good defense, and there's a reason why they only lost their first game yesterday. So that's on the offensive side of the ball. Then there's the defensive side of the ball, in which that is our pass rush. Nothing. Literally nothing. We got 3 sacks yesterday. 1 came earlier in the game, and then it was back-to-back sacks on that final drive, and it was 3rd and 19, and I was like, oh, here we go. And the Bears wind up converting on 4th down. So the defense couldn't stop a cold. That was horrible. They ran all over us. And Caleb Williams, like, I know Bears fans are pretty upset, but Caleb Williams played a really good game. Yeah. And I think, if anything, who you're looking at is talking about Eberflus. Eberflus made a decision to run down the clock even more and not go for extra yards there to put him in better field goal range. I don't know why they did that, but I'm happy about it. And I think that the combination of no pass rush, Jair Alexander got hurt again in this game, which is a problem. He just came back from injury on Sunday and then got hurt again. Doesn't look significant. But I think just if you give teams time and if you give the QBs time, they're going to make plays, right? Now, what you can do to counter that is a really good secondary. And I think we do have a good secondary. But when you have, Valentine on like Romo Dunze or like DJ Moore, pretty good wide receiver, it's going to be problematic. So, yeah, they controlled time of possession. They had like 36 minutes of time possession. They had long sustained drives that ended in points. And yeah, it was just a tough day for the Packers. And I'm hoping to kind of say like it was a divisional game on the road against a good defense and leave it at that. And also the Packers don't really play well after a bye week. But I don't know, man. Like, I think the ultimate test is going to be against the 49ers, who also don't look that great. But trying to stop CMC next week is going to be a challenge, considering they allowed, Caleb Williams and company to run all over us. So there's definitely things to be fixed, and I'm very happy the Packers won. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, they didn't play well against the Vikings until literally the 4th quarter. The Lions, it was a tough game. And now the Bears, like, they're struggling within the division. And I know you see that all over the place. I mean, the Steelers just beat the Ravens, right? We've seen that all year. The Broncos, they almost beat the Chiefs. Like, divisional games are divisional games for a reason, right? These teams know each other really well, and they usually play really tough against one another. So I'm hoping to chalk it up to that, but there are issues with this Packers team, especially the pass rush, especially the turnovers, that it needs to get addressed. And I don't know if it's going to be. Jordan Love made some decisions that I really liked yesterday, because there was times where he just like threw the ball away. And I was like, good. Do not force it. And there's some amazing throws he had. He had one that dropped right, like in double coverage. There was Christian Watson, who had a career high game. He had 4 catches for 150 yards, where he had a diving catch, got up and kept running for like 60 yards. So, like, again, there's stuff about this team that I love. I am concerned when we go up against good defenses, though.
Sure.
Because we can't return the favor. And when we're not getting turnovers like the Packers have been this year, those mistakes and those problems look even more amplified.
Yeah. No, I mean, they feel a little bit similar to the Texans in that, like, they overperformed, I think, maybe down the stretch last year. And what it did was it put these expectations for 2 quarterbacks just going into their second season. And then, a lot of little things happen. Every NFL season is going to be different. Every week in the NFL is going to be different. Injuries to certain players, even if they're not season ending, they can wreck a game. They can wreck, a couple games. And it's like the Packers have fought through a bunch of that stuff, mainly like the different injuries to Jordan Love through the first half of the season. And now it's just, can they get back to where they were at the end of last season again this year and be that team that can, surprise, I think, in the playoffs. And I thought we would be talking about the Packers as a team that's like the favorite going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Versus anybody but the Lions. I thought the Lions would be as good as they are, and they They are delivering. Oh God, sorry.
Very much so. They're delivering.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like growing pains.
Well,
is Robert Saleh still helping you guys?
Say again?
Is Robert Saleh still
there?
He
was back in Green Bay this past week. Yeah, that was also the thing. You mentioned that, and Jordan Love was incredible down the stretch. Like, he wasn't turning the ball over. I think he had like one interception. Like, it was crazy. He was just crushing it. And you look at that first drive against the Bears yesterday, dude, it was surgical. Like, it was a perfect first drive. And I was like, okay, and if Jordan Love doesn't have an interception, I think we're talking about this game a little bit differently. But it was just giving the ball back. And it was against the Lions too, right? Because that first half was really damn close between the Lions and the Packers. And then Love throws a pick six and it kind of blew the game open. And then they were just on cruise control. So I think if he can limit that, and Stenavich was asked about this, and the play calling was effing weird too, man. The play calling at times, especially in the red zone, was just not good. I don't know what LaFleur was doing. I have no idea what was going on. But if Stenavich was asked about this and said, do you think that Love's turnovers are a result of his injury or decision-making? And he goes decision-making. So it's fixable. And like I said, there was things that he did in this game that I thought he improved upon his decision-making. And I think it was just one bad throw and, he just missed the guy. It's going to happen. But yeah, I'm hopeful that it can get better. And again, the way that I'm at, because Jordan Love then led that team down the field for that game-winning drive, the good is outweighing the bad. But against the truly great teams in this league, you have to be pretty perfect. To beat the Lions, like we're going to play them again in December, they're going to have to play pretty perfect football. They're not going to be able to afford this. So because with a lack of pass rush and giving the ball back to the defense, which did not look good yesterday, the offense needs to be playing at an extremely high level in order to get those wins.
Well, check this stat out.
What do you got, buddy?
Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson all lost for the first time ever on the same week. Wow. I will say this to the Bears, too. I think, obviously, the game does not end the way you want it to. All right? I get it. But at the end of the Bears video, I tried to provide some optimism for Bears fans. And I think we saw Caleb Williams play well this season. We saw him do things that, don't just go away.
Sure.
And with the firing of Shane Waldron, what I said was,
thanks on timing.
It doesn't even matter whether or not you guys win or lose down the stretch here. All you want to see is your offense function better and Caleb Williams play well. Play close to the way he did against the bad teams. And at least that way you know what the problem was. And the other problem's still there, and Eberflus can be eliminated this offseason. And for the most part, they did that against Green Bay. They played a very respectable football game. We're talking about the Bears the same way we're talking about the Broncos last week, not just because of the blocked kick, but because they had a chance to win it late. The Bears defense, let them down late in that game as well. But I think there's optimism there for Bears fans, even though they don't trust the top part of the decision-making in that organization. But, this next coaching hire is going to be one of the most important decisions this franchise has ever made.
Yeah,
it's going to be the difference between whether or not they have, a nice decade ahead of them, or they ruined fucking the best quarterback prospect we've seen for a while. Prospect. I don't even know if Caleb was the best QB in that draft class, but he was labeled as the best. So,
We'll talk about that Sunday night game. Talk about taking years off my life.
Dude. Chargers.
As the third game I was streaming that day, that was not the game that needed to end today. That was not the one. After the high of the Packers winning, the Bills won, things are going crazy, and then both teams going, no, here you go. No, you get it. Good
I
God.
had that game on last night while I was editing.
Sounds about right, KK.
And so Bengals kicker McPherson misses 2 lead-taking kicks, right? Twice. He misses it twice. And I'm like, both times I'm like, okay, well, it's over for the Bengals. It's over now. But when you're editing, you kind of like you zone out, right? And I swear to God, it felt like a minute had passed, and I looked back up, and the Bengals are going back out onto the field. I'm like, how did the Chargers do nothing after he kept
literally
missing those
nothing?
picks?
Literally nothing.
Like, what the hell? I was perplexed. And then, of course, they did finish it with the touchdown. I was like, man, either Jim Harbaugh I'm going to applaud him for escaping the chargering.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to say the chargering is too great a force that not even Jim Harbaugh can overcome what a Chargers team to close out a football game is. Whatever magical bullshit that is, Harbaugh's not better than it, but he is.
He's keeping it at bay, right? It's just like, you know,
he shook hands with it.
The anger inside of you, and you're just like, push it down, push it down, push it down. You just gotta let it go.
Yeah.
That's why he pushes Justin Herbert every single time. He's just like,
I love you, Justin. God.
He's trying to beat the Charger out of him. He's just like, I know you have struggled for a long time. Yeah. That's it.
Nobody wants to know just how much Jim Harbaugh loves him.
Yeah. I mean, dude, and the Bengals, they had so many opportunities to win that game. And I picked the Chargers to win. And in the beginning, I was like, well, this was the right decision because it played out how I thought it was going to play out, in which Joe Burrow's playing well, but the defense is not good. And now Joe Burrow's going up against a really good defense because the Ravens do not have one. So I look at this and I was like, okay, the Bengals are probably going to lose. But then the Chargers do nothing. I mean, they do nothing. The play calling was weird. They stopped running the football and taking time off the clock. They kept giving it back to them. And like you send that Chargers defense out, which is good, over and over. You have some long touchdowns, and Joe Burrow's right back in it. I mean, the throws by Joe Burrow last night to T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, like they had great games. And yeah, it's so frustrating. And if there's anybody who understands having a really good offense and a really crappy defense, hey, it's majority of my life as a Packers fan. You know, so that it's frustrating because you're like, this guy is so good, and and the offensive line is not good for the Bengals. They're not doing many favors. It sucks, man. It sucks. Oh, Woody, I got some ideas.
I referenced the Chargers. Is it the 08 Chargers when they had the number one defense and the number one offense and they missed the playoffs? I think I referenced them to this current Bengals team where it's like, and they don't have the number one, defense, but they feel like the best team we have seen in a long time that is going to miss the playoffs.
Sure.
Like, this is the third loss this season for Joe Burrow, where he's thrown over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns or more, 0 interceptions, 3 times. That happened twice to Tom Brady his entire career. So, like, the way the Bengals are losing is truly special. Like, we are witnessing
history.
Yeah, history.
It's
bad
not
good history.
No.
But I feel for Bengals fans. It's like what had happened to the Broncos last week and the Bears this week has been happening to the Bengals all freaking season.
Mm-hmm.
And their games are fun. I mean, like some of the
I
best
do like
games
watching the Bengals
season,
play.
they have all been the Bengals losing.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you do, man?
Too early, but so far.
We know they're not going to spend a bunch of money in free agency. They're going to be losing pieces.
Yeah,
like,
they have to sign all these guys, dude. Like that's the problem too, is their window with Joe Burrow was like, oh man, like when they made the Super Bowl, you were like, watch out for the Bengals. Like this is going to be and now like Jesse Bates losing him, like never really replaced him in the secondary, like just pieces of that defense just got worse and worse. And it's like, okay, we'll just give it to Joe Burrow. You just throw it on his back. And to his credit, he's doing a great job. There is only so much that Joe Burrow can do.
Yeah.
And like, I like Chase Brown, like they kind of got that run game back and that's been looking pretty solid. But yeah, there's just, they can't do everything.
They do one too many things wrong every game. Just one. They just one too many things wrong.
So Bengals, I mean, at this point, like they're likely going to miss it. The Broncos are sitting in the 7th seed right now, so they control their destiny, which is super exciting. And dude, yeah, they might be getting that last wild card spot.
They're in the driver's seat. Like,
let's go.
compared to last year,
depends on timing. That's all.
With the Broncos at this time, they were coming out of that nice win streak they had, where they beat Buffalo in that time. They beat the Chiefs in that time. They had the weird games against the Vikings and the Browns where they got wins. I was like, okay, there's something happening here. But they needed a bunch of stuff to go their way. And then they lost. This time, the Broncos don't need anything to go their way. They just need to keep winning.
Yeah.
And it is so possible because we got the Raiders, then we got the Browns, then we got the Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs.
Ooh.
So we have 2 must-win games in a row.
Yeah.
The Colts were they're a weird team. They are beatable, but I think they're kind of a dangerous team. But then, maybe by December 29th, when they play the Bengals might be out of it. You know what I mean? And I don't know what they're doing at that point. So, or they might just be on the brink. It's going to be tough, but all those games are going to be so important. I'm excited for it.
I mean, yeah, you have some tough games in there. Like those 4 games are going to be, I think, difficult. But you're going to see, you want to see how good is Bo Nix?
Yep.
Like we're going to see.
And hey, JC might not be playing starters that final week, depending. If they got it, like we thought, okay, if they're going for the undefeated season, even if it's a meaningless game, who knows what they do? They're 1 game ahead right now, so that I feel like that game's going to be important to the Chiefs. So we'll see what happens. But we've got the Chargers and Chiefs. Those are 2 playoff teams. We got to win those games, and we got to earn that spot. And I love it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I mean, it's exciting because whatever happens, and this is not meant as an insult, I think the Broncos are overperforming a lot of expectations this season.
Oh,
you're like, okay, yeah, expectations. Like the defense, after you got 70 points scored on you, that defense did a big old turnaround, and they started getting
shout out to Tony Hawk.
Starting to get a lot of things rolling, and that defense has been good. And it was a matter of like, okay, can you get a quarterback in there that can run Sean Payton's offense, the one that he wants to run? And even with some of the lack of weapons that you have, even at times the lack of running game you have, like the fact that they're able to still do what they're doing, and to think that if Bo Nix continues to progress, this team, you just start adding more weapons to it, is going to start looking good on the offensive side of the ball to match that defense's output. It's going to get fun. So you just got to hope it's real.
Yeah, we have found so many pleasant pieces on this team. Nice surprises, call it whatever you want. Young guys are playing well. They have got a strong foundation to build on. John Gruden called the Broncos defense the anonymous crush because there's just so many guys you don't really know, like balling out, playing. And even guys like that people warned us were going to be a liability. Cody Barton had another interception in this game. Yeah. A nice pick too. Like it was a play he made. So I'm happy about it. Now, I'm also happy Buffalo Bills.
Let's talk about it.
Kansas City Chiefs. Put them in their GD places. Put them in their place.
Were you nervous about that game, like as the game was progressing? Because like the Bills were looking good and they got that lead, and I'm just looking at it going, it's not enough. It's not enough. You gotta score more.
Yeah. I knew the Chiefs were gonna score on that drive.
When there's a fitty, we boop the kitty.
Boop. Yeah. I knew 100% Chiefs were gonna score a touchdown there. And I was like, that's fine. They'll get there. It's all about how the Bills are going to respond to that touchdown. And first of all, one of the best and most important plays from that Bills game was Khalil Shakir catching that pass on 3rd down. He got absolutely blasted. Blasted on his backside, as I think Jim Nance said. He got blasted on his backside. Holds on to the ball. It's a great catch in a clutch situation. Clearly hurt. Money. Don't want to take away from how important that play was. And then it's 4th and 2. And the Bills got this win without their run game being good. James Cook had a very nice, angry touchdown run, but they weren't running the ball well. And it's 4th and 2. And they go for it. I'm like, yes. Okay, Buffalo, put it away.
Mm-hmm.
They go for it. And Josh Allen, not only does he pick up the first down, which would have probably been close to enough, he runs. He runs in for the touchdown. It is not like his most impressive run until he gets close to the goal line. And I don't know who's coming over. Was it 6 or 9 for the Chiefs? I can't remember who's coming over to tackle. Allen just drops his shoulder. You coming to hit me? All right. Boom. And then the stadium goes wild. Josh Allen's going wild. And that's when I was like, oh, thank God. It is over. Even if the Chiefs score a touchdown here quickly, like I had no fear after that touchdown. Josh Allen called game.
Well, Josh Allen, like you've mentioned this a bunch, like that is the difference between having like a good QB and a great QB, right? And Josh Allen, that somebody who literally can take over the game. And there's a few of them in this league, but Josh Allen is 100% one of them. Also, real quick, just to get Wilkins, because donated 50 before. And
you like football?
Yeah, I do.
We do too.
We do too. We like football today. Yes, we do. No, dude, I mean, like, I want to talk about it in a couple of different ways. One, this is a big win for the Bills, and something that the Bills, they can beat the Chiefs in the regular season. This has been proven. Now it's the last 4 times that they've met, they're beating the Chiefs. We'll see when it comes to playoffs, but we'll allow Bills to have this moment right now. And for the Chiefs, it just seemed like it was only a matter of time in which they're playing this brand of football, which is not the prettiest, but it's getting the job done. Then last week happens, and it's like, okay, they're getting really close here. And obviously it's a different game week to week. But the way this game started with Mahomes throwing an interception, it was like, oh.
The dumbest interception I've ever seen. You suck, Mahomes. Finally, it bit you in the ass.
I want to say also, like with the Bills defense was doing a good job of making Mahomes really uncomfortable. So K-Chan's talking about like left tackle, like they were getting after him and at least like putting pressure on him. And it just seems like with Mahomes, and I know you know this very well, it seems like even if you're close to sacking Patrick Mahomes, it usually doesn't happen. He's able to BS his way out of there. And I feel like while that has happened this season, it's not happening as frequently as it usually is. And that is also a big difference, that the line is just not there where it usually is. And that's kind of becoming a problem.
That's a really good point. It's their offensive line has taken a step back. They've tried to fill some holes, and then they've had some injuries. I feel like one thing they'll be trying to address is that. And I think Patrick Mahomes is about 8% less elusive. If I had to pick exact percentage, 8% less elusive right now. Maybe it's just a rough patch. Maybe his ankle injury slowing him down just a hair or whatever, but Denver had a ton of pressure on him. They sacked him a handful of times. So some of those escapes didn't happen. And even if it is just 1 or 2 plays a game, you stop him from doing that ridiculous stuff we've watched him do his entire career. That goes a long way against the Chiefs, especially right now where all these games are close. All their wins are close. So they are beatable. And I really thank the Bills for actually proving it can be done. Because if we had to keep guessing if they're going to go undefeated, it would have just got annoying. Honestly, it's probably better for the Chiefs, too, that they did lose a game. They can just get it out of the way, and we'll see what happens after. But, for the Chiefs, who cares? They could lose, 3 more games. It's like when they get to the playoffs, they're going to be –
they're fine.
Terrifying. Everybody's going to not want to play them. The Ravens suck against them, and now the Ravens don't look good. Bills – they could beat them in the playoffs. Chargers, maybe. Broncos, definitely.
I think out of all those teams, JK, it's the Jets who are the most disappointing, because I do want to talk about that game too. Yes. Because, first of all, a huge shout out to Anthony Richardson.
Woo!
Because the crap that he's gone through these past few weeks, and listen, some of it pulling himself out of the game, not really giving a great answer as to why. Like some of those are self-induced, but you're learning. It's learning curves. He came out yesterday, and for the Jets, I mean, all these games are must win. But this one, I was like, okay, if they want to keep their slim playoff hopes alive, they got to win. And Anthony Richardson, man, like I'm super happy for the kid.
Yeah.
Like that's a dope way to go in, get a gutsy win on the road. 20 for 30, 272, had a touchdown, had 2 rushing touchdowns as well.
Yeah.
Like he played a really great game.
One rushing touchdown. He looked like Jim Brown. He just destroyed the Jets safety who came in and tried to tackle him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's only 2 quarterbacks I think can do that, and it's Anthony Richardson and Josh Allen. But happy for Richardson. Wasn't even perfect, but he completed 66% of his passes, which is like for him, that's like doubling his completion percentage.
For him, like, no, legitimately, I know that sounds like an insult, but dude, like that was a huge concern that he's just not completing any passes. And there you go.
He played well. Aaron Rodgers now has a worse win percentage than both Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold for the Jets.
Yep. And you know what? Rodgers also didn't have a bad game. 22 for 29, 184, 2 touchdowns. It wasn't an awful game.
Rodgers, it's a little perplexing as to why things are not working for the Jets. Rodgers is not the quarterback he was, but he's still, I would say, like 12th best quarterback in the league. If he's on a good roster, which he is, you should be talking about how they can smartly win a lot of football games. But they just keep fucking losing.
Yep.
Breece Hall had a nice game. The Jets defense has taken a step back, though, since Robert Saleh was fired. It might just come down to that.
Back. It's a few steps back.
Yeah, it just is probably that simple. They probably should not have done that. But who knows?
Dude.
Maybe go back to Hackett calling plays. See what happens.
It's a mess there. Hey, Perna got a fitty. Let's go.
Drew.
Buffalo all the way this time, baby.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, you don't have to worry about your boner not going down if you're a believer. Bills fans and your affinity with wieners, I think this is safe.
No, it's the Bills! Buffalo all the way this time!
Gotta love it.
There's a video of a Bills fan who drew a giant cartoon Bills wiener, and they were outside the stadium, and he was just putting it in a picture of Patrick Mahomes' face. Bills fans are on another level, man.
Dude, that stadium erupted on that Josh Allen run. That was so cool to see, man. That was so cool. And we're getting back.
Yeah, there's a couple things we got to get to still. One, I see it. Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets coming in to start for Danny Jones. That's happening.
Yep.
The Lions just decimated the Jaguars. I'm surprised we haven't learned that Doug Peterson has been fired after that game.
Yeah. Talk about the Lions, dude. So the Lions are doing everything that they're supposed to do. You talk about playing bad teams, right?
Yep.
They beat the absolute piss out of the Titans, and then I don't know what bodily fluids the Jaguars have left. And obviously, it's a different game if Trevor Lawrence is in, because maybe the Jaguars would have gotten another 6 points.
Want to see how much better Trevor Lawrence is than Mac Jones? Just look at the 2 weeks.
Yeah,
last 2 weeks.
It is significant. I mean, the Jaguars are they're a bad team. They've needed to fire Trent Baalke for a while. I don't think Peterson's going to be there. I don't know when this is going to happen, but I mean, the Lions were just insane yesterday.
The Jags didn't look like they had any desire to play that game.
I mean, would you?
I'd have some pride. You gotta have some pride, man.
That's the Lions, Brad. Eberflus is always squinting because he's always just trying to see a win and can't. He's no, can't do it. Can't do it. No, sorry. Hey, another birthday. Sam, happy freaking birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Sam.
But the Lions, I mean, again, so the only problem is your boy got hurt. broken forearm.
Anal
always,
zone?
Yeah, you always call him anal zone. I was just waiting for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I didn't know what happened to him.
He's going to miss,
I saw him tweet about it.
It's like 6 to 8 weeks, I think. So he has a broken forearm. So he'll be back for the playoffs, which will be a huge boost for them.
Yeah.
And who knows, like they might be the number 1 seed in the NFC. So, yeah, that sucks. But Zadarius got hurt, but then he got a sack and Ford Field went nuts. They're a damn good football team. And again, they just beat up on a bad team, but they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of see how the Lions are going to go down the stretch. I think they're going to be fine. They have some tough games. Like, dude, in December, Lions and Bills.
Super Bowl preview.
That is going to be a fun freaking game. Dude, Seahawks getting a win. And Geno Smith at the very end, calling game, getting it done. I'm so happy for Geno, man. The 49ers, they had every opportunity to win that football game. And yeah, but
what I like about Geno is he did
I like Geno Smith a lot.
Jack shit for that entire game. Then he closes out with the touchdown. And he tells the crowd to go to bed.
Yep.
I wish I could. Well, maybe I could be that cocky after doing just one single thing. Just one good play.
That's all that was needed.
Yeah.
And I do. The Seahawks, like, this is a big win. This is their first win over the 49ers since Russell Wilson left. So, like, that's a big one. 2, the NFC West is just...
Yours for the taking, Arizona.
Yeah, it's a tire fire. And the 49ers just do not look like the same team. And I know they've been dealing with injuries, and CMC is getting work back in, and Brandon Ayuk is hurt. I know they're missing guys, but it just doesn't seem like the magic is there. And that is really concerning because I still think there is a chance that they make the postseason, but it's concerning because this was already like, all right, this is our last shot at this window before we have to pay Brock Purdy. They gave the big old contract to Brandon Ayuk, who unfortunately got injured. Juwan Jennings is playing really well, but they just are not as scary as they have been. And again, that could change maybe down the stretch. Like, it seems he gets more involved and becomes a bigger part of that offense. Who knows what they're going to do against the Packers next week? There's a shot. I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but I think it's definitely a concern. And if they don't make the postseason or they don't go very far in the playoffs, then it's like, oh crap, what the hell do you do in this offseason?
Yeah.
So, Silver, I agree. Caleb shouldn't have to carry, though. Shouldn't have to. Not for a rookie.
Yeah, for a rookie quarterback, that's a lot to ask.
That's a lot to ask.
You know, and Chicago ran the ball well. It's just important.
Yeah, they did.
Buffalo all the way this time. Yeah.
Another game, Steelers-Ravens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Ugh. I'm saying, the Ravens, what are you doing? Steelers? Hey, Russ didn't do much, and you still got to win against a division rival.
Yep.
You're getting into that scary category, scary good category.
Well, again, this is what I've been saying about the Steelers. I picked the Steelers to win this game because now this is 4 straight wins, I think, against the Ravens. On top of that, they know how to beat teams within their division. I'm very curious to see on Christmas, if it's not buffering too bad, I'm very curious to see on Christmas Steelers versus the Chiefs and just which team is going to BS their way to a win. But the Steelers, like, they just feel like a team that, like you said, Wilson didn't even play his best game. They just have a pretty balanced football team. And I said this about the Ravens last year. When the Ravens were the number 1 seed, the 2 teams that they did not want to see in the postseason were the Steelers and the Browns, because I just don't trust the Ravens against their division rivals, especially in the playoffs. And
I don't trust the Ravens for anything now.
I trust the Ravens because I think that they're a good offense. But when they go up against a really good defense or they go up against a high-powered offense and it's going to be a shootout, I don't. And I'm so sorry, SX, to hear about the Gato. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sure many friendly and fine years with those Gatos. Let's go.
El Gato es in kitty heaven. Playing with just dead mouses everywhere.
There's dead mice in heaven?
Yeah, dead mouses. I know the plural.
Sorry, yes. Continue.
Yeah,
math.
Okay, so one, Justin Tucker needs to stop Justin sucking.
Bro.
2 missed kicks. It was the difference in that game.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry fumbled on the first play. Now, Derrick Henry fumbling is a rarity. Derrick Henry losing a fumble, even more rare. It'd been like 538 carries since he lost a fumble. Derrick Henry losing a fumble on the first fucking play, impossible. Impossible. So, first play, Ravens already like, uh-oh. Derrick Henry fumbling on the first play, that's like, in terms of bad omens, that's like the snap going over Peyton Manning's head in the Super Bowl. It's just not going to be your day. Maybe chalk it up to that. I don't know. But you got to lean on Henry in the run game when things aren't going well. And it's like we've seen the Ravens do that a couple times. How many carries did Derrick Henry have late in that game?
Yeah. I mean,
Russ threw an interception in the end zone. And you couldn't get it done, Baltimore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not trust him anymore. I think they can hang with most teams, but consistency, don't know. Lamar Jackson, I went all in on him. I'm saying he's the best quarterback in the league. And he plays like caca.
Poo caca, yeah.
You can't be the MVP and then have that game.
But
Lamar.
That's a division game, man. I mean, like that.
I don't care. You got to step it up. You got to
play
win
against their division opponents, and that's been a problem. I think it's just, especially the Steelers. Like the Steelers, they are made for AFC North football. They are. And I think I'm not closing it down on the Ravens right now either. Like I think the Ravens can still be fine. And depending on who they play in the postseason, they might just have that fortunate schedule where they get to avoid the AFC North. And I think that they could go up against the Bills. I think they can go up against the Chiefs. They go up against the Steelers, the confidence is gone.
If worms had machine guns, then birds wouldn't be scared.
I mean, that's just true. Quentin got the W. Let's go. Let's go. Fitty, I think that was to Perna, by the way.
Quentin Johnson, Jefferson Williams.
I think you got that, Fitty Perna.
You had a nice game. Thank you, Quentin.
Yeah, I'm so very happy for him, dude. Like, I am happy for Quentin Johnston. And also, for this account, it's turned it around, and now it's celebration. Because last year, it was like, I can't catch the ball. And now, look at it. Full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Lad McConkey also had a nice game. He had a big catch for the Chargers to set up that J.K. Dobbins touchdown. So, you need to curse the Lions. No, I'm not going to try to curse the Lions. Holy DCE. No way.
Oh, I think it's Green Bay just because it's Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hail Mary is more improbable, I would think.
Yeah. When you have that 10 straight games where you've lost to a division rival, and then that's the way. Oh.
That is a great comp. That is a great comp right now. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
he's got the receivers. I mean, again, it's just can you get all the other sides of the ball? Like, I don't know. I don't know. So dude, Dustin, same thing. Saints went through the same exact thing. So I'm not totally out on the Ravens, just to get back to that super quick, but there are concerns. And Steelers, man, they're 8-2. They're 8-2.
Yeah.
So good for them, man. Rams, they got to win over the Patriots.
Here's a question for the Steelers.
Sorry. Good.
4 wins with Russ. They had 4 wins with Fields. You go back to Fields for 4 games, and then go back to Russ for 4 games. Also, we should probably be talking about Mike Tomlin as a Coach of the Year candidate, because how he has managed this roster.
Yep.
Like, dude, he had Fields and Wilson, and everyone's like, that's an improvement for the Steelers. They're both dirt cheap, but let's see if he can make it work. And not only has he made it work, he switched quarterbacks mid-fucking season, and he's won 4 in a row. Like,
I mean, he's been one of the
team, and the team plays well. And those dumb Steelers fans wanted him gone. Gone.
It's, again, and I understand it, because it's like, I'm tired of just losing in the wild card round and just like being just good enough to get a bad draft pick. I get it. I get all of that. But like, Mike Tomlin's also doing this with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's one of those, it's like an Andy Reid, right? Is that they're kind of taken for granted at this point. Like, they're always going to be good. Yeah. They're always going to be excellent coaches. And that's why you're going to usually pick somebody else. But no, I do think that Tomlin is in that conversation. I don't know if he'll actually get it, but
we get it. Yes. I was just going to say I would, duh. I was like, I would kill for a Chiefs-Steelers game. It's on Christmas.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great game. Those teams are so similar to me right now.
I told you, Eddie. I told you.
Except Mahomes is better than Russ, but like
Satan. I told you. So
you bought F the refs?
Yeah, that's right. Because the Titans, good God, every second they were getting a flag yesterday. Good God, every second. Do anything? Flag. I'm excited for scripted today. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it'll be good. Bo Nix should win every award. Yeah, Stafford. Sorry, good.
No, I was gonna say the Vikings Titans game kind of got buried in that morning slate.
Yeah,
Vikings get the win, and our winners and losers episode, me, Will, and Johnny, we all dropped notes in there throughout the day, like, oh, this play. Not a single one of us put a single note from the Raiders-Dolphins game. That's never happened. This is week 11. We've had notes or at least one play for every single game. Not a single one from Raiders-Dolphins. Second most Bear, Minnesota, and Tennessee. So those games were just kind of like expected. Thought the Dolphins would win. They're right there. Did the Dolphins ahead of the Bengals now in the playoff race? Technically,
oh yeah. Good. Maybe they can get it done. Joy with a fake. Whoop, for the kitty. Imagine Aaron Donald just comes back out of retirement. He's like, all right, I'll play for the Chiefs. So why not? Just make him an NBA
Aaron Donald does that. I would frame Aaron Donald and have him put in jail with Chiefsaholic.
Don't blink. If you're a blinker, cut your eyelids off.
Cut him off.
I would cut his eyelids off, actually. I can't play if I can't blink.
I mean, if there's anybody who could, I think it could be Aaron Donald, honestly.
Probably.
Again, he's just be like, good. No. Then he's just going to be staring at the quarterback the entire time. Just, that's an intimidation factor.
He would have to, he could unretire, but he still would be an LA Ram. They would have to trade him to the Chiefs, I believe. So can't even do it, Kansas City. T. Higgins, I swear to God, if he goes to Kansas City, that's going to suck.
Yep. Sean Payton just watches, of course.
I hope he does. He knows. He knows.
I did have a really good game today. Yesterday, he had 4 touchdowns against the Patriots. And I will say, Patriots, I know it's not fun, but Drake May,
he's getting there.
He's getting there.
He's progressing.
He is getting there. Of course, Logan. Anytime.
No! Make him come.
No! They're Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
Make him come.
That was the Bears yesterday, and it made me feel good.
Sure.
Matt LaFleur, 11-0 against the Bears, by the way. Has not lost.
Damn.
Lost.
He's never lost to them? That son of a gun.
I like that. Yeah, no, I mean, for the goal charges, the Bengals, I think it's just, it's really unfortunate. And Perna said this earlier in this episode. Like, they are a good offense. They're a good offense.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we're not going to see them in the postseason because it's like, I like watching the Bengals. Like, the Bengals are a fun team to root for. Chiefs fans are like, they are not. But I like watching the Bengals. I like watching Joe Burrow. It's a fun team. And yeah, man, I think you have coaching, which is a problem. You have a defense, which is a problem. You have offensive line, which is a problem. And unfortunately,
yeah.
Their
defense plays good stretches. They've got a good defense for like a half.
Yeah.
Great defense for like a quarter. Their special teams let them down. Like the Bengals, what the Bengals need to do, and this never can happen or will happen. I don't want anybody to think that I think this is possible, but they need to hire Mike Vrabel, and they can keep Lou, and they can keep Zach Taylor. They have some consistency. I think Zach Taylor's a fine enough play caller for their offense. I think Lou has proven he's a good defensive coordinator. They just need the right leader up top. They need the culture changer, Mike Vrabel. They should still maybe hire Mike Vrabel and get just bring in a hot young OC. But if they make a coaching change, and I don't know if they will, but Vrabel just comes in, you keep everybody else. Boom, nailed it.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh no, I think it's fine with the Jets. I think the Jets are doing just fine. Like, and again, there was that question about like who's the most disappointing team. I don't think there's another answer besides the Jets.
Yeah.
I think in terms of just disappointment when it comes to the expectations for the Jets, because we were talking about the Jets like, hey, if they don't like go to the AFC Championship game, it's gonna be disappointing. Now they're not even gonna make the postseason. So it's not good. And I wanted to talk about New Orleans. Listen, the NFC South is open. It ain't the Falcons. I think the Buccaneers with Mike Evans have a shot at winning that division because I think they just look like the best all-around team. But 2 wins in a row, Taysom Hill, I love Taysom Hill coming in. He's just like, I'm just gonna run like a 75-yard touchdown. His throwing stats are amazing too. He's 1 for 2 for 18 yards and an interception.
3 touchdowns for Taysom Hill. MVS also another big touchdown.
MVS.
What? I'm trying to figure out how many.
It was just over for both sides. So
yeah,
works
Taysom
out.
Hill, 41.5 fantasy points.
Yep. It's funny too because people are asking the Packers, they're like, why don't you play Malik Willis like the Saints played Taysom Hill? And I was like, 1, 2 very different skill sets, but 2, like that's just not the offense that LaFleur wants to run. Yeah. But damn, man, as someone who had Taysom Hill on the Green Bay Packers for a hot second, he is always fun to watch. And I will never forget the Saints trying to get a first-round pick for him and got laughed out of the league for that, and that was not going to happen. But every now and then, Taysom Hill has one of these games where he just has like 3 touchdowns, looks like a god, and it's amazing.
Dude, if he can...
Amazing.
I think... What's his contract? I want him to be back with Sean Payton.
You want Sean Payton to get him back?
Yeah. I like that Rizzy, Rizzy's 2-0 now for the Saints.
He is. Did he clog the toilet this week? That's the question.
Yeah.
He could be, Isaiah. We didn't see how it finishes down the stretch, but I think he's like right around that conversation. Again, sorry, Perna.
No, I've looked up the wrong thing. I just defaulted to Taysom Hill stats. I'm trying to find Taysom Hill contract.
It's annoying, James. Yep.
1 year. Wait a second here. Oh, he's under contract for next season.
The Chargers tweeting that out with Macaulay Culkin was amazing. And with Anakin, that was one of the best tweets I have seen in a long time.
Pretty hilarious. Their social team is good. Joe, go check out Joe's version of the Bo Leave song. I posted it on my community tab. If you want to listen to Bo Leave with somebody who can sing better than me, a lot better than me. Joe made a music video for it. So the link is on my community tab. Go show Joe some love because architect behind that bad boy.
Yeah. Yes, the playoff. See, I don't know about that, Brian. I don't know if they're going to be honed and playoff ready, to be honest, anyone from the NFC West. Because I don't think any of them look godly. I don't think any of them look unbeatable. This might be a hot take. I don't know if I don't think they make it past the division round, but I don't know if they pass the wild card round. Depends on who they play.
The North and the West, all the divisions, those are the only truly competitive divisions right now. Yeah. Like all the other divisions, you got some clearly bad teams. If the Raiders weren't in the AFC West, we'd be like, this is a really, really tough division right now.
Yeah.
NFC North's that way. AFC North's that way. There we go.
Yeah. So this is the current playoff picture. So you have the Lions and the Chiefs both sitting at 9-1.
Yeah.
Bills 9-2. Eagles 8-2. Then you got the Cardinals. They're sitting at 6-4. They had a bye week, and they were it was a pretty good bye week for them. Steelers 8-2. Texans 6-4. I'm still like their offensive line's been playing better. I don't know if Dobbins will get comeback player of the year, but I'd love that. I love J.K. Dobbins, so I mean, I'll always be happy with him. It's not Rodgers, so not much. I don't believe in the Falcons. I don't.
No, not after that game.
No, I don't.
And look at that, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix locking up those wild cards right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is you were talking about the West. I mean, yeah, the Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs, and I do wonder I do wonder how those last few divisional games are going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very, very curious.
It's not a gimme.
Boo. And then here, Colts 5. Here's the 8th seed. So 5-6 Colts. We'll see how Anthony Richardson kind of finishes off the season. Rams 5-5. They're streaky. They're a little bit streaky.
Yeah.
And then this is the maybe teams. Dolphins, maybe. Bengals, maybe. Seahawks, who knows? 49ers, another one. And Buccaneers. I think we can shut down the party for the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Bengals, again, it would be tough. They're going to have to win out, and I don't know if they're going to win out. I don't think they will.
This week, Pete, the field goals were stupid. There's so many misses this week.
There's a lot this season. And someone was asking about this yesterday, too. And I said, I think it's a mix between the great guys are getting older, and your Father Time's undefeated, like a Justin Tucker. But it has not been made easier to kick in the NFL. It's been made significantly harder. So, yeah, Isaac, I think as we get closer to the postseason, that is a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll probably do that around.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, like week 14, week 15, something like that. Just when we're like kind of a month out. Hey, Panthers are still in the hunt. They're still there.
Carolina.
Nobody's
got
eliminated
the Chiefs
yet.
next week, Carolina. Do us proud.
Let's go, Joe. Gotta believe. I believe. It's a banger.
I believe I can fly.
But yeah, I think these teams are all gone. Browns, they only have 2 wins. They're gone. Patriots, no. Jets, no. There's going to be a lot eliminated from the AFC in the next coming weeks. So, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know why you're blocked. Why are you blocked? Why are you blocked? Just give it to Perna. That's love. What'd you do? Who knows what you did? That's true. Ravens are overrated. I don't know if they're overrated anymore. I think their offense can hang, like Perna said, with any team. But their defense makes them a liability. If they go up against a really good defense.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yes, the Lions do beat up on bad teams.
They do. They do.
But they beat good teams as well.
That'll be a lot of fun too, Ryan. Yeah. Dude, the NFC playoffs, AFC play. I think the playoffs are going to be so much freaking fun this year. I can't wait. We're going to have to get through some football to get there. But
yeah,
hey,
the Lions inexplicably lost to the Bucks week 2. That was their only loss.
The Bucks are a good team. They are a good football team. Their defense is not there, but like, dude, I think the Bucks could win their division. I know that they're banged up. I know there's no Godwin. I know their defense isn't great. If Baker Mayfield keeps on playing the way he's playing, I really like the Buccaneers this year. They're just a gritty team.
Yeah, their defense is different with Vita Vea. Like, the defense has been better with him. But yeah, they're sitting at 4-6.
Lock yet? I don't think it's a lock. Playoff.
What's the rest of their schedule? They got the Giants.
Kita, happy birthday! 3 birthdays in the house today. Let's go.
Yeah, Bucks got Giants, Panthers, Raiders. Then they got a tough game against the Chargers. Then they got Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. They control their destiny.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Get them custom shoes.
Oh, Jesse. Okay. I'll try and remember that.
That's it.
I would love a custom pair of shoes.
All right. That's
I'm
it.
Disorganized.
Bills out Chiefs the Chiefs, sucking but win. I don't know if the
They
Bills suck. I don't know if they suck there. All right. Hey,
dude, you don't.
Milwaukee, let's go.
Nobody plays a perfect game against the Chiefs.
No.
You just don't.
No. Definitely
because they are a good team.
Mm-hmm.
All phases.
Fitty! Perny got a Fitty!
Oh!
I got
Take
you, Perna.
the Lions out of the curse wheel, at least for the rest of this year.
It's a bribe.
That's a big ask.
There you go.
That's a big ask. That's the thing. You can't take your team out of the curse wheel. I think that's a curse.
Look what happened to the Ravens.
But I love sex.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth.
I don't watch porn.
Skip had to know, right?
He had to know. I mean, at some point, you gotta know. You gotta know. Hey.
That's elite.
I mean, gods, have a little hope, but it seems like, again, Harbaugh is keeping the charging at bay. It's just a matter of how long can he keep it there. That's the question.
Hopefully for a bit.
Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
Go check out the new best game ever. New best game ever.
They put that out late last night, right?
Yeah. I was like, should I post it? It was like midnight. And then after you put all that effort in, you're like, yeah, I got to post it right now. I'm not waiting until the morning.
Their future's a little disappointing because signed Kirk Cousins big old contract.
Yeah, the problem with the Falcons fans today is like you didn't see anything from your offense. You can live with like, hey, maybe we got to fix one side of the ball, but they scored 6 points.
Yeah. Not good.
And I know the Broncos defense is good, but like you brought in Kirk Cousins for 6 points in week 11.
Yep.
No good.
God blame Perna. Literally, as soon as we end this live stream, I worked on it this morning because I did a Bills Chiefs reaction that, for whatever reason, the audio didn't come about. So effing annoying. So yeah, I changed it and instead put on 32 jerseys and did every NFL fans reaction to the Chiefs' first loss. Scripted's going to come out later tonight. Stream Monday Night Football. Then every NFL fans reaction to week 11. Big day on Monday. Let's
nice.
That would be a great way to do it. That would be a great one. Well, folks, we appreciate you watching. We had over 8,000 people in here for GPS today. Make sure you check us out. We're a podcast as well. And folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destination.
The Kansas City Chiefs. That's where Soto will go. We don't watch baseball.
We're going to play receiver for the Chiefs.